It is Friday the 13th. I wasn't going to do a video, but on consideration, I will. I won't cover gold, silver today. I'll do them in a weekend video, and today we'll focus on equities, VIX, and fly through a number of individual stocks. So let's do that. So let's start with S&P. S&P was down 46th day of 7. Not pretty, right? I mean, look, we have a lower high, a lower low. It even took out the Monday low, getting down to 66.32. We're still above a 200-day, but the Nasdaq took out its 200-day. Maybe we'll jump to that in a moment. Tagged purple gap for a second time, and technically this is the lowest close since probably what's that? December the 21st, I think. Momentum is on the low end, so there's that, right? Last time we had momentum this low, we had a pretty good bounce. And yeah, we're on the low end. So we still don't have a turn though, right? I mean, we tried the floor here, but nope. And another 2 days down. And this spike isn't pretty. You see the sellers appeared because we were up like 61 points in the early morning. And yeah. So at best, the bulls are going to somehow manage either a positive start next Monday, or we're going to get a little floor from around the 200-day. That's the best scenario. Then we bounce up to maybe teal gap. I mean, right now, I don't think we can go much above the 50-day. Best case. 50-day, of course, is 68.84, and that's going to be falling all the way into April, of course. So yeah, not great. Not great at all. The background news isn't good. The GDP data was lousy. It's just terrible. Let's look at the Nasdaq, which is the first. I track 6 indexes. Nasdaq is the first index to settle below its 200-day, first time since early May. It's not much, right? But it is the first break. The next support is around 20K. I still lean short-term bullish into the Fed. That would inherently be the case, and I would even be open to a bounce to around the 50-day, which is 23,000. That's what 4% up. So that could be, if we could do 2.5% next week, and maybe another 1.5% the following early week, and then roll over again. But in any case, there's a bearish break there. 20K, secondary tier, secondary target, 18,000 or so. 18,000, that's 4,000 points down, which is close to 20%. That looks probable. In fact, that just reminds me, Nasdaq monthly, did it turn negative today? Ooh, it's close. Look at this. Monthly momentum, very close to turning negative. It's got to happen, right? It's going to happen. It's like this. It's like this. It's just like last year. We're going to turn negative. Now, it might happen before the end of the month, but if it doesn't, it's going to happen as of April the 1st. Bearish as hell. Lower Bollinger currently offers 16,000. I'm only thinking 18 looks realistic, but on here, you could get to 16. Maybe, I guess maybe by April or May, we're looking at maybe 17, 18. But yeah, look, we're under the 10 of May. RSI slight divergence there. We're going down, just like last year. Again, keep in mind the individual cycles. Still leaning short-term bullish into the Fed. So on an hourly chart, look, we're on a low end. We're prone to going up into the Fed next Wednesday. Teal gap, basic target. Big wall of resistance around what? What's that? 60, we'll call it 6,800. Massive resistance around here. I don't see how we can get above that. So I think whatever happens Monday, we might open weak on Monday, but we should still kind of claw upwards. And it's like, okay, then we roll over again sometime after the Fed. Hell, we might even roll over on the Thursday. but not great. Actually, looking on a 15-minute close-up, I did come up with a 5-wave count. This would be a 5th wave lower. And the closing hour candle, I wouldn't take anything from that. But just to bounce, we got to clear 66.57. We're gonna clear that. We're gonna clear that, just to get to tail gap. This won't be easy. It's like, what's the excuse gonna be? I mean, hopes of a peace in the Middle East, get up to there. I mean, how are we gonna break above that? Breaking above 68.45 is now looking really difficult. And we have 12 trading days left of the month, right? 12. And then, of course, there was Tom Lee with his target of 7,300, which looks completely out of range. I mean, that's almost, what, 668 points up, which is literally 10%. 10% to get to Tom Lee's 7,300. Not likely, is it? It's extremely unlikely. Anyway, the other thing I want to highlight, actually, well, maybe we'll do it at the weekend, but I'll briefly note it now. In terms of monthly momentum on the S&P, look at this. Very close to turning negative. When it turns negative, bad things happen, right? Bearish into April. I'm guessing we're going to hit 5,500. I don't know whether that'll be April or May. I don't know, but that's an ugly candle. Very similar to last March. Look at this. The style of the market rolling over, just like last year. Anyway, I could dawdle on that all day long. Let's move on. We're going to cover VIX. Let's just jump to the VIX. So this is different. It's different from last Friday. Last Friday, powerful ramp, which gave confidence to me that Monday would open red, which we did. Equities would open red, VIX spiked, but then reversed. This Friday, VIX did have a little bit of a high, but did actually settled red. VIX settled red, and that's actually, think about that. VIX was actually red when the S&P was down 0.5%. So VIX is telling me that short equities should be bouncing for at least 3 days or so into next week. Maybe we can get the VIX back down to around 20, either Wednesday or Thursday. Cool the VIX back down, and then off we go into April. That's my guess. But again, look underlying. Look at the volatility. Underlying volatility been going up since Christmas. Just broadly going up. A little bit, noise, little black candles here and there. Just underlying increases in volatility. So even coming back to the 20 threshold wouldn't really dent anything, right? It can happen. Anyway, short-term bearish VIX, short-term bullish equities, to be quite clear. Do I want to look at oil? We'll leave oil until the end. And I will, gold and silver can wait until tomorrow. I'll keep them for a separate video. Apple, down 2.2%. Not below the 200-day yet. But close. Actually, I want you to think about this. If I'm right about S&P 5,500, what the hell is this going to be? $6. It's $6 now. If the S&P is 5,500, what's this going to be? 5? 4? I mean, it's 14. I like this company for the long term. Air taxis is, it's a long term. It's where we're heading. Air taxis, robo taxis, nuclear, small, SMR reactors. Of course, drones for warfare and the other thing is space. Space is a hugely important niche sector. But anyway, these stocks I like. these could easily be down 25, 50% maybe. Large rate, Agnico Eagle down 5%. That's kind of reflective of the sector, actually. It's a close under the 50-day, but you know, this particular stock doesn't care about the 50-day. Often trades under it. Short term looks like Monday will be down initially, but um, okay, American Eagle, black candle on a 200-day no less. That's not great. We are oversold though, so if you were short, I mean, look, I mean, you can even argue there's an ABC wave down, but it's. I think it's going to go to the 12s, but you know, maybe not in this cycle. First Majestic down 8. Hang on a sec. All right, I'm just checking my audio level. That's better. Okay, we'll go with that. God damn. Click the wrong thing on the screen and everything goes to hell. AMD, 2%. Not below the 200-day, but it's close. I wouldn't be surprised if it could bounce to the 50-day, 216, but still. Um, Amazon down, basically in line with the main market. American Express down 0.6. Yesterday's reversal candle did initially play out, and it is one somewhat stronger stock than the sector. It's holding well above the Monday low. Look, momentum sticking all the way back upwards, prone to turning positive. You might only see this next week. I mean, we might. The issue is, do we just see that? Do we just see something like that, a little bit bigger of an up wave? I mean, you think we could tick upwards into next week and then roll over again? So short-term bullish, mid-term bearish. Barrick mining down 4.8. Boeing's trying to floor. Bank of America down almost 1%. BlackRock. Oh, look at that. Okay, that black candle, that's bearish for Monday. Blackstone, actually, yeah, one of the more, actually the most bullish financial today. So Thursday was horrible, 101. And it's bouncing 4.5%. Basic target is green gap to around, what's that? 100, 112, I guess. 112 to 115. Yeah, 112 to 115-ish. So another $6 up on this probably. It might take a couple of days. Short-term bullish, mid-term bearish, Blackstone. Caterpillar, down 1%. Kamiko down 6. Carnival, black candle. Cleveland Cliffs, oh, look at that. That's horrible. Down 5% in the mid eights. The mid eights. What if, again, ask yourself the question every time you see a chart, what would this stock be if the S&P is 5,500? What are we looking at here? I'm like, it was $5 here. I mean, I would say if the S&P is 5,500, this is a $4 stock. I like the company, I like the CEO. That would be a buy, right? But that's like 55, 60% down. I mean, I'm going to be watching it. I'm looking at it, by the way, yeah, this was a beautiful multi-week bear flag that played out. Really nice, tight action. Bam. Coinbase, black candle. You could argue structure as a bull flag, short-term bullish, but confidence is low in that. Decker's black candle. Not great. Lower with the sector. Ford, that's decisively lost for 200 day. Basic target is 1025-ish. Again, if the S&P is 5500, what is it? I mean, $8, right? Yeah. Freeport Mac ran unraveling. Google, oh, it's roughly in line with the S&P. Home Depot, black candle. Intel, black candle. A lot of black candles. Joby, churning. Again, if the S&P is 5500, this should be somewhere around 5-ish. I like Joby for the long term. JP Morgan, oh, look at that. Another black candle. Can you believe it? I mean, net higher, but still, black candle. The most bullish short-term case would be a little bounce to the 200-day, the 50-day intersecting towards the end of next week. That would be around what? I mean, close to $300. Yeah, that's $17 up. What's that? 6-7%. KKR, one of the financials catching a bounce. I mean, you see that some sellers came in because the main market was weak into the close. But again, maybe it can go up to $90. And there is, I haven't marked it on this chart, but there is a gap there. The 90 it starts around 92. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this go to 92, maybe. But I am midterm bearish to 61, which is also what the stock charts computer has for as a PNF target. Private equity is a problem in the Morgan black candle. Meta platforms down 3.8 because they delayed their AI thing, whatever the hell it might be. MP Materials down almost 5%. I got to think this is going to come down to $30. I like the company for the long term. Micron, that's a very nice close. 5.1%, strong relative to the main market. Fractional break of trend. Earnings are next Wednesday. I am absolutely bullish Micron. As one of the more bullish setups out there. Volume was up. Look at that. Momentum will turn positive at the Monday open. Bullish Micron for Wednesday earnings. 455 is basic target. You almost got to wonder how high could they push this next Wednesday? I mean, earnings are going to be excellent, right? If you think, momentum could be up to there. What are we looking at here? 470? I mean, could they even drive this to 500 on like an insane blow off ramp? I considered going long, by the way, but I'm trying to keep things simple right now. I'm leaving it alone, but this one is the most bullish chart out there. Netflix bouncing, Nike. Look at that. Wow, what is that now? How many days down? Yeah, 11 consecutive days down. Terrible. 53. The 51s are not going to hold, are they? The stock charts computer has a PNF target of 42. And I agree, 42. NVDA down 1.6 to 180. The 200-day 177. Once that goes, we're looking at least 150 minimum target. It's just a matter of when, right? On this, note the spiky candles, sellers into each bounce. Pan American silver down 6%. Again, the main market is the problem. You could argue maybe this will come down to 32 if the S&P is 5,500. Palantir, that is a baby. That's baby bull flag. It's definitely a bull flag. Bull flag at the 50-day. You can even see today's candle was a little spiky off. There were some buyers in this one into the close, which is counter to what the main market was doing. If it is a bull flag, you're looking at what? 170-ish at least. Yeah. Still, short-term bullish, mid-term bearish to 100. So, maybe I could short this at 170, 175. PayPal, leaning short-term bullish. Red Cat. Red Cat has earnings next week. Rocket Lab, black candle. SMR, black candle. Target. Tesla down point, I'll call it a percent. 391. That is the first close on of a 200-day since September the 1st. Not great. You got to wonder. S&P 5500, 265. Tesla. Yeah. United Airlines, black candle. 86. Again, S&P 5500. What are we looking at? I mean, 55. Yeah, 55 to 55/52. That doesn't look difficult. I am inclined. I mean, I want to short this, but I'm fearful, and I'm fearful. I'm not gonna pretend or not. I'm afraid that if I go short, it might actually bounce first to green gap where the 200-day is. So if the main market bounces for a few days, if it can do that, then maybe we can come up to 98. I mean, shorting it from 98 is a lot better than 86. And yeah, that's a black candle, which generally would lean bearish for Monday. Maybe Monday it'll just be a touch lower and then ramp. But yeah, I can't look at this. Look at this. I can't short it with that. That's if you wanted to short it, you short it there, there, or there, or there. This is not shortable. That's not shortable. Neither is that. So the cautious will not short the airlines. So I'm waiting. It's hard to be patient though. UPS just down with the main market again. Exxon, what's that? Third day up, 1.7%. Impressive. I mean, you could argue that it's a head and shoulders here, but that would be negated if we go above 160. Okay, the only other thing I wanted to highlight was oil. Hang on a sec. All right. Let's jump to oil. Oh yeah, by the way, Bitcoin, it's up, but this is all just chop. It's the same as that rubbish, right? It's all rubbish. The price action's no good. Oh yeah, what about Ethereum? Which of course is where Tom Lee is involved. Look at this. Look at this. Horrible. What is this? This you could just argue this is a multi-week bear flag. There's nothing good there. Again, we'll cover silver and gold probably at the weekend. We'll do it then. There's no hurry. Uh, weekly daily chart for oil. 274, 2.9%, 98. I mean, in fact, that is the highest daily close in a long time. Weekly, yes, that candle is insane. I mean, look at it. 76s on the percent comment on Tuesday. 119, of course, on the Monday, right? Yeah, Sunday night, Monday morning. I mean, just that's insane. It's one of the wildest weekly candles you'll ever see. And of course, on a monthly, we're kind of churning around 100. Again, I would keep in mind this. We had a buy signal 3 weeks ago. Even though we're swinging around a bit, we're going up into April, May, maybe the whole summer. I don't know, but there is zero sign of a turn. We've only, again, the fact that we've just got a buy signal, in theory, you can add at least a couple of months onto this. So that gets us into the middle of the year. So people coming out talking about $150 oil, even $200 oil. I mean, those would have scary implications for the global economy and, of course, the market itself. This is just the start. This is just the start. Are we clear on that? This is just the start. I know people are out there saying, "Oh, well, we didn't clear that high there, the Russia-Ukraine high." I'm like, well, look, we're only just starting off. This is the buy signal was only at the end of February, right? I've been waiting all this time for a buy signal, which is when, of course, I went long oil a couple of weeks ago. I'm not long oil this weekend. No inclination for that. But yeah, broadly, we're going up. Maybe we should end on that chart. I think that's a good chart to end on. Who knows? In a couple of months, $98 oil might seem cheap, which is a scary thought. Anyway, I wish you a good evening. I wish you a good weekend. I will do some more videos, probably this weekend. Uh, and yeah, try not to watch too much news. Go watch a movie. And on that note, good night.